Becoming is better than being, and that is precisely why we consider ourselves to always be a work in progress. It means that we are never complete, and you always have the opportunity to become someone and something better.
It allows you the ability to be comfortable with making mistakes and accepting yourself for who you are.
We are a work in progress, and I am GW.
I am GK.
I'm Chris M.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Yes.
Things are a little different this time, but for the better, we hope.
Yes.
It's a boys' club, yeah?
For the
It's
lads.
a boys' club right now. But anyways, let's get into the first segment, which is an icebreaker.
Okay.
Basically, the aim is you'll be getting a paper, you'll see what it is, and you describe it to the next person. So I'll start to GW to Chris M, and we'll go on like this.
Is there a time limit? Or?
40 seconds.
Okay.
40 seconds,
That's
okay?
decent.
Okay.
So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, it's a body of water that is named, it's a body of water that is named after a community that are in the coastal part of Kenya.
Okay.
A body of water,
Named
coastal
after.
part of Kenya. Oh, no. No, there's no...
I've gotten it already.
You got it? What is it?
Indian Ocean.
It's really far off because there's no type of people named after this actually.
So you're the
Okay,
one.
find another way to describe it.
You win.
How was the Tana River?
You get the point.
Okay.
Tana River. I can't explain Tana River. So
I thought the water body was at the coast.
I made a mistake.
Still at the coast. Right?
Fine. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Think of a very small fish that is very yummy.
Omena.
That's all.
Aye, okay. We can debate about the yumminess of the Romena, but it's okay.
This one you have to get.
Okay, we go.
Recently became a city.
Nakuru.
Correct.
Okay, you ready? They're credited for fighting for independence.
Mau Mau.
There we go.
Oh,
Come
sorry.
on,
Quick time,
sir.
quick time.
Yeah, we keep going.
GK is losing currently.
Okay. It is a local drink that is brewed.
Moratina.
Yes.
Hey, GK.
I think I'm the only one who got a hard one, to be honest.
You didn't describe it correctly. It's a road along where you guys live.
What?
It's a famous road where you guys live.
What?
Yes.
Like his shags kind of thing.
There's a time it's a famous road where you guys live.
It's such a useful...
Kile, Lavi, those areas.
Oh, is it named after a popular person?
Yes.
James Gishuru?
No. Another one.
Wayaki Way?
No. Smaller road.
Smaller road and a Kenyan that is of Asian descent.
Now Shadmerali?
There's a road like that.
Which other Indian people, okay, of Asian descent, in around the Lavington area? That's what you're saying? Olenguru. He's not of Asian descent.
He's of?
Dennis Pratt. He was a British person.
I tricked you. So I tricked you. It was a trick.
Famous for doing the Kapenguria 6.
I tricked you.
So currently GW is in the lead. That was terrible.
Him and myself.
No.
You're tied.
No. Okay. Former First Lady of Kenya, who was very popular.
Lucy Kibaki.
Okay, now think of a medical institution that's been named.
Mama Lucy Hospital.
Correct. Come on, man.
Okay. That was well done. Okay. when the colonizers came, what was this whole region called?
Ooh.
This whole region.
Yeah, when they touched down, what was the whole region called?
Still Africa.
Of their
British
of their
Empire.
yeah. But it had a certain name.
I need to think about it.
Okay, fine. We are in what part of the continent?
East Africa.
Okay, and then add
British
another-
East Africa.
No.
Aye.
Add another one after East Africa.
I think
Something-
it's
British East Africa.
No.
3, 2, 1. Sorry. East African Protectorate, man.
Okay. Well, last round.
Last round.
A popular drink by those Kalenjins and I think Maasais or something like that.
Mursik.
Correct.
Oh, there you got it on. I would have messed that one up.
For my drinks. Okay. Okay. I hope you know your history. He was the one white person in the independence cabinet.
John Kitty?
Very wrong.
Am I anywhere close? No.
No, he was known to be a spy. We have a show of him here on the Fifth Estate.
What?
He was killed by Idi Amin.
Does his name have a letter K anywhere in it?
Yeah, somewhere in there, yes.
Kerry, Kitty, Clyde. I don't know.
Mark something.
I don't know.
Christoph, you have a guess?
Bruce Mackenzie?
Correct. Bruce
Yeah.
Mackenzie, man.
Yeah, that one I didn't know. That's the last one, huh?
Yeah, one more after.
Okay. This one, let me not lie to you. I will be very bad at explaining this, but think of the tribes in Kenya, and this one is like, what? Towards the coastal areas.
Those Mijikenda ones.
That's, yes. Thank
Take
you.
the last one, Christoph. That
Oh,
was the most
lucky.
lucky thing I've ever seen. Terrible descriptions.
Yes.
I think we're all going to be at a tie.
This one you have to get, yeah?
Okay.
It's a speech delivered by the president annually.
State of the Nation address.
Yes.
Ah.
He's constitutionally mandated to deliver one every year, and he did this year on the 30th of November.
Yep.
Yes.
It was a Tuesday. Okay. So now that we've warmed up and we've had our icebreaker, let's get into a bit of a discussion about something. So we're going to talk about sort of there are going to be two running themes in the entire part of this episode, as you've seen in our warm-up game. That is talking about sort of blackness and people of African descent taking their progress into their own hands. And there is also the upcoming holiday that we all love called Jamhuri Day.
Yes.
So we'll begin with talking about black advancements that served black people, and I'll hand over to the first person to give us an idea of a story of one, which is GW. GW, take it away.
Okay. It is more so a story. I'll try to paint a picture in the story and what black culture has achieved and what has happened to it. So in May 1921, there was an area in Oklahoma called Greenwood. It was a very famous district. And in this district, there were, I would say, the epitome of black excellence, like happening around there. To quote one writer, it was modern, majestic, sophisticated, and unapologetically black.
Wow, okay.
So the area was called Tulsa, and it was famously known as Black Wall Street. And this was mainly because they had theaters, they had cafes, they had, very forward.
It was a very vibrant,
developing area.
of commerce for black people.
Yes,
In the area.
and the contrast was compared to many other communities in the States that were going through a lot of segregation and, oppression from,
Yes.
The powers that be.
the powers that be.
That's very lawyer language. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's trying to be PC. and so there's this one event that happened around that time that really sparked a lot of, let's call it violence. And this was what they coin it as the Tulsa Race Riot.
Okay.
But in itself, that term is trying to wash away what actually happened. And it was more of a massacre.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So at this point, do we have any questions?
So let me just recap. You have Tulsa, which is a place that was full of vibrant blackness, unapologetically black, very successful, hub of commerce.
Yes.
And then riots happen.
Yes, riots happen.
Okay, so
But they're not really riots. It was more of a massacre.
it was a massacre.
Yeah.
How bad was the massacre?
Let me get into it. So it was all sparked, the trigger or the domino effect that sparked all of this there was this young shoe shiner called Dick Rowland, I believe.
A shoe shiner.
Yeah,
okay.
shoe shiner worked, somewhere downtown.
Yeah.
And then there was this 17-year-old girl called Sarah Page.
Okay.
She was an elevator operator and she was white. And so the story and the events of what happened to her are not so clear. People say they assaulted her or that she screamed in the elevator when they're together. He was trying to rape her. Like, it was very convoluted.
Okay.
And very soon after, the press took the story and on the tabloids they printed something like black man or black man assaults or rapes, white woman, etc., etc. And of course, there was uproar in the community.
Yeah.
And this kid was taken to court. And in between all of that trial process, the white community was so enraged. And, you can imagine a back and forth, like the black community also coming to support the kid.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? We need the truth. And so in the midst of all this mayhem, like clashes happened. and the black community was pushed so far back now into the Greenwood area, and this at this point is where all the violence started. And at least, okay, it's said, yeah, because the records are like unclear,
Yeah.
and because this is like what called, I don't know, not whitewashing, like what's
It's
the word?
the numbers could have been
Systemic desensitization of information
Uh-huh.
or burning information, whatever you want to call it. So documents say like at least 300 people lost their lives.
Whoa.
And up to 800 were injured. Like the whole community was burnt down. There was looting. It was pandemonium.
You know, the first time I ever heard about Tulsa, Oklahoma in America was last year, 2020, when George Floyd, there was that George Floyd situation.
Yeah.
And many black Americans were pointing to that there's historic reference, because people were saying that black people have to pull themselves out of their oppression. And they were saying, look, in the past, this has actually been attempted. Unfortunately, completely failed. Not failed, it was completely destroyed
yeah.
by the powers that be, who did not want them to succeed.
That sounded very similar to the Trayvon Martin incident.
The boy.
The boy, because he was whistling at a lady, and now they used that to kill this black person. It's a good thing to hear that black people are working together, or they were working together back then, to create their own community, which was thriving.
Yeah.
They had banks and everything. And see, the things that I think you need 4 things that are essential to have a community. I may mess this up, but I think you need schools, you need supermarkets, you need financial institutions, these are banks and all that. And I think maybe
Like hospitals or
hospitals,
healthcare.
things like that, yeah. So they had all that working for them, and that's why Tulsa at that time was a thriving, I don't say community, right?
Yeah, it was like at its golden age, you know.
Yes, and that is in the 1920s.
1921,
So the white man might have felt threatened that these people who we were oppressing were not coming together and creating something that was working. And the effect of that, we have this monkey see, monkey do. So obviously, other black communities would have seen that and wanted to replicate that in their own communities and grow, right? Hence, empowering the black man and their need, or them being put in being tethered by the white man, would not that need would have dissipated.
Subsided.
So they're like, no, we have to curtail this progress so that we can keep this man under our thumb. And I think that's what they did. It's a shame, but again, I think what I get from this is America has begun to change slightly. I'd say that because kind of, right? There's a story that came out a few weeks, months ago, of how black people are now getting their slice of the American pie, right? They are getting a piece of the Wall Street, the actual Wall Street.
Yes.
And now women, men
Top
who are black, working in the top those companies, they're getting big board appointments, and I think the number stood at around 13%, if I'm not wrong. Around 13% of those people occupying those board positions were black people. Now, if you put that in proportionality, the percentage of black people in America is, I think, roughly 10%.
10 to 13%.
10 to 13%. So proportionally, it's working. So you are 10% in this country, you're 13%
of
in
like the overall like big jobs and everything.
Yeah, so I think America has learned from its mistakes. Pole, they are learning, and this is a step in a good direction. And I hope that it continues and black people continue to rise. Not just black people, black Asians, everyone. We need to live harmoniously in this world.
So now let's go to my description, my story.
Yes.
One of the things that you've spoken about is, once we've talked about how black people pulling themselves up, and one of the ways you pull yourself up is through education.
Yes,
100%.
Education is the tool of removing ignorance. It's sort of what gave even Kenya the opportunity to get leaders that were able to now progress us beyond independence. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on the side you look at it, a number of our Kenyan people were educated by Western organizations, Western countries, white dominant schools. Apart from the big schools we know, like Makerere University, which is very Pan-African black university, or Fort Hare, which had a lot of black people in South Africa. So one of the things I wanted to talk about in terms of education and progress is historical black colleges and universities.
Yes.
So imagine this is 1860s. Black people in America are slaves now. They're slaves. So they have basically no ability,
rights.
no rights, especially in the South. So to counter this, we always get history sort of one way, but to counter this, black people were not just resting on their laurels. They were trying to find ways to develop the black person and move them forward. And that's how they developed something called historical black colleges and universities.
Okay.
They did it from around 1861. The first one that was ever developed was called Cheney University. Then you have others which we now know, like the famous Howard University, which I actually wanted to go to. Didn't get the chance, but I wanted to go to. I'll give you what a HSBCU sounds for. It's any historical black college or university that was established prior to 1964. So it is undoubtedly black.
Yes.
Most of the teachers are black. The top black school, the top black teachers, not school, but students of across all the world, if they're not going to Ivy League schools, they want to go to historical black colleges because that teaches them about their culture, their identity. And I think that's a very important thing. You know, one of the things, now, my favorite guy, not Thomas Sankara, but my other favorite guy, Kwame Nkrumah, also had dreams of it because he felt that the only way to remove the African man from colonization was to take charge of their education. And unfortunately, up till today, our Kenya's greatest individuals, our smartest people, are sent abroad to get education. And so he wanted to create a Kwame Nkrumah University, an African university that took the best of the best in Africa, different professions, different schoolings, and gave them education from an African perspective to move them forward. So now, because his dream didn't happen, as GK, I'm thinking, you know, we need to create the GK
University,
Africa University.
Why not the Kwame Nkrumah one?
Because I'm the one who's going to start. It's a GK Kwame. We're going to call it the GK University for Africa, I think.
Okay. So with regards to HSBCUs, HBCUs, HBCUs, yeah. It's a noble idea. It's a good idea. I listened to someone from America. He's very polarizing depending on which side of the political divide you lean towards. But I was listening to his speech, and he was saying how those universities nowadays, they're no longer black universities. And the reason that has happened is because of the funding. And he gave this good example of a place like Harvard. So Harvard, the alumni from Harvard, they sent back so much money that at one point, Harvard was rivaling the American government in terms of assets and everything. And so the American government put in a law to tell them, you need to liquidate some of your assets because you can't be that rich.
It's too much now.
Yes, and that's why they began this program of affirmative action. If you're smart, we'll give you scholarships and all that. See, now, that's the positive side of that school. Now, those HBCUs, the alumni don't send in as much money, right? And so, to an extent, some of them, I can't remember which one specifically, but he said right now it's almost 50-50. 50% black, 50% white, because they need the money, right? And he was calling on the black entertainers, because they're very rich. He was calling on to them, come and support these schools. If one of you or two of you were to come together and say, we'll support Howard, you'll create more programs, more students, right? So you get to say, instead of 50% white people, and we have nothing against white students, you have a right to learn. But you're just saying, instead of taking 200 black people and 200 white people, you take 400 black people because you can finance it yourself. So if black people were to come together and do that for the HBCUs, then it will be more beneficial to the black kid, because right now he's losing those positions again to the white man, whereas they had created those schools to benefit the black person. So a lot needs to happen, but it was a step in the good right direction. And maybe also Kenya, we need to have certain things. We have a school for Kisii people, for them to go a proper Kisii people, another one for Meru, because some of them are marginalized. So maybe they need something
now
like
that would have spurred a completely different debate, which I think we're going to save for another episode. But anyways, we're going to be back after the break, where we'll end with the Ignorance Project. Welcome back to Work in Progress. And now to conclude the show, we're going to hand over the keys to the kingdom to Chris M, where he'll give us an ignorance project regarding either a bit of everything, an ignorance project, a bit of everything. So Chris M, take it away.
Let's go. So I'm going to start by asking you something very simple.
Never is it ever simple. That's okay.
What are the big four? What are the big four pillars? What are the pillars?
The legacy frame?
Legacy frame.
Legacy frame.
Legacy frames.
Okay. Political stabilization.
Restoration of dignity.
Restoration of dignity. Big push.
Big push investments.
And economic acceleration.
Correct.
Can't miss that.
What about the big four?
I'm talking about now.
Now, the animals.
No. This is from President Uhuru Kenyatta's
Oh,
big
the
four.
agenda. Okay, so housing, affordable housing.
Yes.
Healthcare.
Yes. It's universal healthcare. but-
Universal
Universal
healthcare,
healthcare.
manufacturing, and food security.
Correct. You see,
He's doing well.
Very simple
He's carrying
things.
the whole
Hey,
thing.
man.
If you listen to the State of the Nation, good report. We are very proud. Now, in your own opinion, yeah,
Okay.
who is the most successful rugby coach in Kenya?
In your own opinion.
Yes.
What kind of question?
Defend it.
Mike
Just defend
Friday.
it.
What's he called? Mike Friday. What was his name?
Mike Friday, the British guy.
That was his name. So that's your answer.
That's the only one I can remember.
Okay.
And I
Say-
think they did well around that time.
A guy called Benjamin Ayimba.
Why? Defend your answer. No answer is wrong.
2016, the only thing that we've ever won as Kenya was the Singapore Sevens, and I think he was the coach at that time.
Correct. That's why I also think he was the most successful.
So
He's
correct,
late
so
now.
It's true, yeah.
He's late now. Yeah, but so Friday they also got us to the final. Yes, but then Ayimba just took us over the mark.
Yeah.
A step further.
So for me, he becomes the nini. Kenya is ranked in the top 10 globally when it comes to gender equality reports.
Ah.
True or false?
Top 10,
Yes.
Gender equality.
Globally.
report.
globally.
Globally. It's a true or false question.
I think true.
Okay.
I mean, we've done well, but false.
The answer is true.
Have
We actually ranked
Have
better
some faith.
than the US.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, what's our ranking?
Number 7.
Okay, kumbe
Jinx,
you
you owe
already
me.
had
You owe me a car.
Clearly, you guys are cheating, but it's okay.
No.
So, okay.
It's a good guess.
This one is a continuation of the question I had asked you a few weeks ago. Yeah?
Okay.
So, how many level 5 hospitals do we have in Kenya?
Can I even
Universal healthcare?
Okay. So,
There are more than 10.
are they? No, they're
Level
five.
6, that's different. That was level 6 last time. Now we've gone down kidogo, level 5 hospitals.
No, you're meant to help us. So there are more than 10.
Are they more than 10?
Correct.
Okay. Are they less than 47?
Correct.
Okay.
Why would you start with? You'd have gone
Yeah,
like
I was
30.
thinking one per county, so 47 to 10.
That's a very big range still. Okay, there are 26.
Okay.
20.
Hopefully we get there soon. We only have 13 so far.
Oh,
And this number has increased from 9 back in 2013.
okay.
How many countries share a border with the UK?
With England.
I said UK. my friend.
Okay, with the United Kingdom. Northern Ireland.
Okay.
France.
Okay. How many?
Oh,
Just the number.
4
3.
from each side.
Is it, I was going to go say 0. It's an island, no?
It's an island. Yes, a road. It's just one.
What do you want about
It's an island nation. That's why I was laughing. It's only one, and it's not an island. It's island. It's an island nation. How many
That's
countries?
embarrassing. Okay.
How many countries are located in the southern hemisphere?
Countries.
Countries are in the southern hemisphere.
Is this another trick question?
No. Southern hemisphere exists.
Just checking.
Okay, so southern hemisphere are those countries divided by the equator.
Yes,
How many
it's the
countries are in the
equator.
world?
Yes.
193?
No,
194.
it's more. It's actually 200 end.
So let's say it's almost half of, like less than half. I think
about
most
half.
of the countries are on the top half, I would like to think.
In the northern hemisphere?
Yeah.
Are they? I'd say 123.
Okay.
I'd say 94.
It's actually 32 countries.
Are in the southern hemisphere?
Yes.
I told you that less.
So this country,
Not doing very well. Huh?
I want to name the country.
Okay.
This country is known as the Cockpit of Europe. And it's called that because it is where the largest number of European battles took place in history.
Okay, see now the only thing that came into my head was Normandy, which says France. But that's because I've been indoctrinated to learn only about England and France. So, Spain.
Okay.
Croatia.
It's actually Belgium, guys.
Oh, okay.
Which American president was the last one to own slaves?
Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
Roosevelt.
Aye,
It's actually Ulysses S. Grant.
really?
Yes, we're almost done,
Oh,
guys.
fun fact about Ulysses S. Grant.
Okay.
He was the top general who won the Civil War for the North, for Lincoln.
Okay.
and became a president after that. So you're saying before all that, he had slaves, yet he won for the war against slaves.
That's why you said a fun fact. It's a fun fact, yeah. He was the last president to own slaves.
Okay.
Yes. Who became the youngest person to win a Nobel Peace Prize at the age of 17 back in 2014?
Malala.
No. Is it Malala?
I think it's Malala.
Is it Kenya? No.
No.
You have a senator.
Our Kenyan representation is Wangari Maathai. That's it.
17 years old.
It's Malala.
Yeah, go with his answer.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Which two countries signed the Good Friday Agreement back in 1997?
Okay. This is now where logic comes in.
Okay.
Okay. Good Friday is just before Easter. It's Easter holidays that time. And so countries that had issues regarding that, I'd say Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. Something to do with Ireland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pass.
You know, actually, you're correct. But it was not those countries. It was Britain and Ireland.
Same thing.
It's not the same. But the issue was when Ireland was split, because UK used to own that part of the island as well. Now there were people who were unionists, the people who wanted to remain part of the UK, and others wanted to be out of it. So there was a big battle between those two countries for a very long time. And so the agreement to where they had decided now to amicably exist, the agreement was signed on a Good Friday, and so hence the Good Friday Agreement.
Okay.
Yes. Can you name any new sport and discipline that were added into the 2020 edition of the Olympics? Any.
Skateboarding.
Correct.
That was going to be my answer.
So now this one.
Final two.
Yes.
Okay.
How long did it take for Kenya to become a republic after gaining its independence?
I'll give you a chance.
6 months. A year.
It's 1 year. Exactly 1 year. We gained independence 12th December 63. We became a republic 12th December 64.
That's a lie.
Okay.
It was June 1st.
No, that's Madaraka.
That's independence.
No,
I said
Madaraka
independence.
is self-rule. We consider independence 12th of December.
No, that's republic. Jamhuri is republic. My question was...
What's the correct answer?
The correct answer is 1 year, 6 months, and 11 days.
11
False,
days.
and you'll be fact-checked. That is true.
No. Okay, guys. The Swahili word for Madaraka is
Self-rule.
independence.
Yeah.
Self-rule, Jamhuri is republic. My question is, how long did it take Kenya to become a republic after gaining its independence?
Okay.
1 year, 6 months, and if you want to be very specific, 11 days.
Okay.
The last question. On the 12th of December, we celebrate
Jamhuri Day.
Yeah. Can you name any other celebration that happens on the 12th of December?
Like,
There are several, but I just need one.
Around the world.
Yes. Don't guess.
12th of December.
Think. Big four pillar. The pillars.
Universal Healthcare Day.
spot on.
Really?
This World Universal Health Coverage Day.
Oh.
Okay. The other one is World Neutrality Day. You will not have gotten that.
Okay.
Those are tough ones.
So that is where we're going to end today's Work in Progress. From all of us here in the Work in Progress team sitting on this panel and beyond, we would like to wish you all a happy Jamhuri Day. Enjoy it and make Kenya move forward. We'll see you next time.